We're going to look at a story in the Bible. If we turn to Matthew 17, it says, "After 6 days, Jesus took with him Peter, James, and John, the brother of James, and led them up a high mountain by themselves." He led them. When you're facing a challenge, we do need to let Jesus take the lead. Jesus had the crowd, he had his 12, and he had his 3, but he only took 3 up the mountain. Now, Peter, James, and John were probably physically able to do this, but more importantly, they were mentally and spiritually able to handle some of Jesus' toughest and most challenging ministry moments. He took those 3 up the mountain. These are the 3 that witnessed some of his most amazing miracles throughout his ministry. And my question for you is, who are you taking up the mountain that you're assigned to? Back in 2020, when we did our first technical hike, we did a hike called East End of Rundle. Do we have any hikers? Does anyone know East End of Rundle? Oh, we got like a few of them out there. This was a challenging hike. If you download the All Trails app, it is listed as hard, but the reviews, they lie. This is supposed to be a quick hike. This is supposed to be like an up the mountain, like 2-hour adventure, or so we thought. So we were actually at a conference in Calgary, and we decided that we were going to go try out and go and just fit in a hike at the end of the day, as wise people do, right? So we had looked on the All Trails app. We were looking at it. This hike had it all. It had wayfinding, risk of exposure. It had risk of getting cliffed out. It had huge elevation gains, scrambles, rock climbing, you name it. And let me tell you a little bit about your mountain. You're probably going to have to do some wayfinding. You're going to have to deal with some risk of exposure. You're going to have to scramble through some loose and slippery sections. And you're going to have to do some serious rock climbing. You have to know, and if you're in the middle of a challenge right now, that it's an uphill battle. So we started this hike. It was around 3 p.m., and we had just come from the conference. It was like plus 30. I don't remember exactly how hot it was, but it was hot. And we got to the trailhead, put on our gear, and off we went. So the first part of this hike involved a technical skill called wayfinding. So wayfinding, for non-hikers, is where you need to follow the established markers of a trailblazer. So someone's gone out before you, and I think we have a picture. It's just very tiny. But so on that tree there's like a little tiny flag, and your job is to go from like one marker to the next marker and not go off trail. So you just keep going on a leap of faith that you're basically going to see the next marker. And on this particular trail, the risk that you encounter is that you can get cliffed out. So cliffed out is what happens when you're on the mountain and you cannot go safely up or down. You actually get yourself off trail, you've gotten a little bit lost, and you can't go up or down the mountain safely. This is what happens when there's helicopter rescues. This is what happens when you see like the people rappelling down and pulling people off. And this happens actually on a regular basis on this hike. So you want to be careful, you want to be watching, and you want to make sure that you're getting out of this area safely. So when we look at Proverbs 14:12, it says, "There's a way that seems right to a man, but in the end, it leads to death." Some of us in this room are cliffed out right now. You may be trapped, you're on a ledge, you're afraid of asking for help. You attempted to climb. Maybe you said things to yourself like, "I could do this better. Maybe if I just take that shortcut, it kind of looks like I can get over that section if I just go this way." And you've decided that you're going to try something on your own. In Proverbs 16:18, it says, "Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall." And we need to deal with our pride on the mountain. We did on this hike in particular, and you will too. Edmund Hillary said, "It is not the mountain that we conquer, but ourselves." How true on the mountain. This is also why you don't hike alone. Jesus took his 3. So again, I ask, who are the 3 that you're taking up the mountain?